Hi guys, it's just a really quick screencast to show you how to set up your spreadsheet so that you can do all your calculations and have everything ready for this refraction prac that we're doing. So as you can see, the first thing I've done is I've set up 3 tables for different media, and I've also put in incident angle, sin I, refracted angle with 3 possible tests, then an average, and then the sine of that average. So we're going to want to plot sin I over sin R because that will give us the relative refractive index. So I'm going to actually set that graph up first because I don't actually need to have any data in it. I just know I'm going to want to plot one column versus another column. And I can set that graph up, and then when I put the data in, that will change and graph my data for me. So the 2 columns I need are going to be this one here, which I'm going to highlight, and then holding the command key down, this one here. And I'm going to want to do a scatter plot. So I go to chart, and I pick scatter. And I need to double check that it's actually doing sin I over sin R. So I need the y-axis to be sin I and the x-axis to be sin R. So I'm going to check that by using the select data. And if I click on here, we can see that this is my x values and they're actually giving me the sin I, and I actually want my x values to be the sin R. So I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to highlight the values I want it to use and hit enter. And then I'm going to click on the y values, and I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to click on the values that I want it to use and hit enter. So now I know that it's going to plot the correct values. I can type in here which one, and later on you can change that to a particular the actual medium that you use. The other thing is I'm actually going to move this chart and put it on its own sheet because it's much better to have a much bigger chart. And so there it is there for when I'm ready to put the data in. Okay, so I've set this up for the graphs. The other thing I need to do is put in all the formulas. So in this column here we're going to have averages, and I want to average these 3 sets of data that I'm going to take. At the moment it says divided by 0, but when we actually put those in, so I've just clicked and dragged that down to copy, and then I'm going to copy that in here as well, and I'm going to copy that in here as well. The next thing that I need to do is put in my formula for finding sine. So equals sine, open bracket. Now remember, Excel has to use radians, so I take my value, which is in degrees over here, and I'm going to divide by 180, and then I'm going to multiply by pi. Now pi is predefined in Excel. If I type in pi, and if I open bracket, close bracket, that just means I'm not going to set a particular number of decimal places. Close my bracket again, and that's my formula. So I go back to the formula, click and drag it down, and there are all my values for sin I. If I Command C, then I can just paste those in my other 2. Oh, look at that. Oh, I see what I've done there. Just hit escape or undo. There we are there. On these ones here, I need to add in another line for 0. I must have forgotten to do that. So let's insert a row. Oh no, I see what it's doing. Hang on, escape. Goodness me. Apologies. Insert a row, and we need a 0 value here. And I need to give myself one more of those. And same as here. Insert a row, give myself a 0 value, and give me one more of those there. Okay, so I can cut and paste these values in. Command C, Command V, Command V. Now, because this is a formula, I can also cut and paste it over here because it's only going to read what ends up being written in here. So I can post it there, and I can post it there as well. So now I've got a spreadsheet that's pretty much ready to go. Now I like to check my spreadsheet to see if it's actually working, and I've got some data that we used in a previous prac. So here's the data that we used in a previous prac. So I'm going to copy this data and pop it into my spreadsheet here. And now you can see that it's doing the calculations, and there are my values there. But also, interestingly, let's go have a look at my chart. And there's my chart with the data sitting there for that particular medium. Now, the things we're going to want to do with the chart is actually put in a line of best fit. So if I go to Format, I think I need to click on one of the datas, Format Data Series. And if I go to, no, that was not the one I wanted. Apologies. Add trend line, silly old me. Okay, so there's our trend line there. Don't forget when you add the trend line, you want to display the equation. And so now I can see the refractive index for this material was 1.489. Okay guys, that's it. Hopefully you can use this to set up your spreadsheet and be all prepared for the prac. Thanks.